routing module in Laravel. So there are different concepts in this module: redirect routes, view routes, required parameters, optional parameters, regular expression, constraints, named routes, different kinds of route groups, middleware, namespaces, subdomain routing, route prefixes, route name prefixes, route model bindings. In this, implicit binding, explicit binding, fallback routes, rate limiting, form method spoofing, accessing the current route, cross origin resource sharing, CORS. So in this, if we see that basic routing, so the most basic Laravel routes accept a URI and a closure. For example, route scope resolution operator, get, the first parameter foo, the second parameter function return hello world. The default route files, in the routes folder, web.php for web applications, in the routes api.php, that is for API calls. And in this there are different router methods are there: get, post, put, patch, delete, options. These are the different methods, router methods. For example, route scope resolution operator, get $URI comma $callback, that is closure. So like this, router methods are 6 router methods are there. Apart from this, sometimes if I want to register a route that responds to multiple HTTP verbs, match method can be used, or any method also can be used for all HTTP verbs. CSRF protection: any HTML forms pointing to post, put, patch, delete routes that are defined in web routes file should include a CSRF token field. For example, form method is equal to post, action is equal to profile. So in this at the rate of CSRF token, at the rate of CSRF, like this we have to include that one. Redirect routes. Example, route scope resolution operator, redirect, first parameter is here, second parameter is there, the URL 1, URL 2. Like this, redirect routes will be. The default status code for redirect routes is 302, but if you use permanent redirect method, it will return 301 status code. View routes. Route scope resolution operator, view, welcome, name comma Taylor. So this is redirect view routes. The route parameters. How do we pass the parameters to the routes? For example, URL, user/id. Second one is closure, function $ID, return user $ID. Suppose post method. Route scope resolution operator, post method, in the URI comma closure. Optional parameters: route, get, user. If we place that is within the brackets, that will become the optional parameter. Name question mark within the braces. Second one is the closure. regular expression constraints. User name function, where name A to Z aged plus. This is regular expression constraints. And second one is route get user ID name. This is about constraints, where condition ID should be 0 to 9 plus name should be small letters A to Z plus, like this. So along with the parameters we can mention that regular expression constraints to the routing. Global constraints. So if I want to put any global constraint, I can define in the boot method. In that route scope resolution operator pattern ID comma 0 to 9 plus. That is, it will include only numeric methods from numeric digits and 0 to 9. That is pattern method is used actually for that global constraints. So previously it was regular expression constraints in the routing. So the next one is named routes. Generating URLs to named routes. Redirect route profile. This is a route method is used. Route get user ID profile function ID route profile. Next inspecting the current route. So public function handle method is used if the condition is $request route named of profile. Named method is used to inspect the current route. Named method. For generating URLs to named route function is used. Route groups. Route middleware first, second. Group function route get first and second middleware. Namespaces. Another common use case for route groups is assigning the same PHP namespace to a group of controllers using the namespace method. Route namespace admin group function. So like this we can also assign middlewares, namespaces to the routes. Subdomain routing. Route :domain account.myap.com group function. Route get user ID. By using the domain function name, we can also apply subdomain routing. Route prefixes. Prefix method may be used to prefix each route in the group with given URL. Route name prefixes. Name method may be used to prefix each route name in the group with a given string. Route model binding. Implicit binding. Route get that URI comma function return user email. User variable is type hinted as app user element model and the variable name matches the URI segment. Customizing the key. Sometimes we may wish to resolve element models using a column other than ID. To do so, we may specify the column in the route parameter definition. Route get API posts like function app post $post return directory. Have to check the documentation for full details. Custom keys and scoping. When implicitly binding multiple eloquent models in a single route definition, we may wish to scope the second eloquent model such that it must be a child of the first eloquent model. In that case, we will use this custom keys and scoping. Customizing the default key name. Public function get route key name returns like explicit binding. To register an explicit binding, use the router's model method to specify the class for a given parameter. Model method for explicit binding. Customizing the resolution logic. Bind method is used for this one. Route bind the closure. Fallback routes. Using the route fallback method, we may define route that will be executed when no other route matches the incoming request. Rate limiting. Laravel includes a middleware to rate limit access to routes within our application. To get started, assign the throttle middleware to a route or a group of routes. The throttle middleware accepts two parameters that determine the maximum number of requests that can be made in a given number of minutes. For example, let's specify that an authenticated user may access the following group of routes 60 times per minute. Route, middleware, auth API, throttle 60, 1. Dynamic rate limiting. We may specify dynamic request maximum based on an attribute of the authenticated user model. Rate underscore limit attribute. We may pass the name of the attribute to the throttle middleware so that it is used to calculate the maximum request count. Throttle rate underscore limit 1. That will become the dynamic one. Distinct guest and authenticated user limits. Route middleware throttle :10 requests /60 guests, 1 group function like this. The rate limit segments. There are different modules in this throttle middleware. Different syntaxes for the rate limits. Form method spoofing. HTML forms do not support put, patch, delete actions. So when define put, patch or delete routes that are called from HTML form, we have to add a hidden underscore method field to the form. Type is equal to hidden, name is equal to underscore method, value is equal to put. Type is equal to hidden, name is equal to underscore token, value is equal to CSRF underscore token. So like this, in the double braces, we have to put that CSRF underscore token with method braces. We may use the @ method blade directive to generate the underscore method input. This, if we use the blade directives, @ method, put as a parameter. Accessing the current route. We may use the current route name, current route action methods to on the route packet. So $route is equal to route :current. $name is equal to route current route name. $action is equal to route current route action. So like this, we can use different methods. Cross-origin resource sharing. Laravel can automatically respond to course options requests with values that you configure. All core settings may be configured in our course configuration. and options request will automatically be handled by the hand records middleware that is included by default in our global middleware stack. So this is all about Laravel routing.